Now, another feature you can use with FastScout is a self-scout for a training plan. So from the Scouts page, Self-Scouts tab, you can select the new Self-Scout button, enter training plan sample or template, and click blank template to get started. Now, I'll jump into one I've already prepared, and you'll see that I've got at the top here, offensive and defensive focus of the day. These are simply a text tile that I've added in and set up with some dot points. Now, you might prefer to have this being just focus of the day, offense and defense combined, and having notes for practice. You might have a quote of the day or something that you have for your team. Now, I've then separated this with the spacer block, and then I have my actual session plan. So I've got the schedule. Now, you can see I've made way too many rows for this tile here because I'll more than likely use this on my app. However, if I want to print, I'll try and put the majority of the session plan in these rows here and then remove the others. I have matchups on the side, so team yellow and team blue, or team A, team B, whatever you'd like to set up there. And then that way you can plan your matchups, your lineups, whether you want starters versus a bench unit, or whether you want to mix and match so you can kind of have equal squads. That's up to you. Procession Notes, I've set up a little spot here. And I can make that a little bit larger, a little bit smaller, however you like. I've also used some plays that I've entered in here, so I can always go in and change them. So you'll see the 3 dots here. If you've squished it in as much as I have, you can hover over and slowly move over. And when it goes from this reposition to hand icon, that's where the 3 dots would be. So now you can go into settings and make that change. If you make it wider, you'll see that the width will adjust. And there is another way around that where we can change it to 3 and then move everything around. Change that to 3. Move everything around, and then it will just be a matter of resizing a little bit so that everything lines up nicely. So now you can see the 3 dots and you have a bit more space between. So you can set that up however you like. You might prefer to have plays on the side here and notes down the bottom, or a larger schedule. You can easily rearrange like you would any other scout. All these are just simple custom tables with a header, a bit of formatting here for the background and the text color, but there's nothing overly special that you wouldn't use within your opponent's scouts. So it's just another way that you can maximize FastScout for your team's benefit. You can also use self-scouts to create scouts for team review, your own player individual reviews, and for a team self-scout. So if we go to new self-scout the same way, and here we'll just go team review, we'll go blank template, hit create, and it will populate just like all the other scouts have come up. Now, it's not an opponent scout, it's a team review. And instead of game date, we can set that up and say first quarter, or maybe just say quarter 1, games 1 through 15, or whatever it is. Now, there's a few things we can do. Generally, custom table and upload a CSV, because I've already gone and set up team stats. I've gone in and I've already set up the team season box score from the Seattle Storm. So now if I move these around a little bit, spread that out, I'll go and I'll delete the games played and the minutes, because for obvious reasons, they're going to be the same. I'll just spread that out a little bit nicer and delete that here. So team averages, so we can say team stats for the header. You'll see all that information's come through. Now, I might want to put a row above and below and have team rankings within the league. So we can put ranking and just say, if we're first in the league, third in the league, 8th in the league, you might go and put that kind of information through, however you'd like to set that up. Now, opponents, so obviously that's our against. Again, we can put in ranking and say that we're, 8th in points allowed, but first in points 4. So obviously we have a bit of work to do defensively. You can go through and put any information in like that. You might even have, instead of ranking, you might put target. So we might have been aiming for 85 points per game, and then you might say that puts us as a -5.8 of what our target was. So you can go and put through targets or rankings, whatever you find best, and how you and your team are, trying to make the most out of your season. Now the team box score, I'll just spread that out a little bit. I'll resize games and games started. quickly. Perfect. Delete that row. So now you'll see I've got the team stats. So we'll just put this as score. And now you have all that information there, and you might want to go in and highlight individual cells to say, you know, this is exactly what we're looking for, or have color codes for whatever you like. You can use text boxes. You might want to put something in here, make it a little bit smaller. And we might say strengths of team, maybe put a couple of dot points. Then we might want to go in and duplicate this, move it over here and say areas to focus on or areas to improve, something like that. So you might specifically refer to the team stats and put that information in here. And then you might want to duplicate this again and have strengths of individuals. So you might want to highlight certain players or certain stats that are appearing above. Again, you can set that up however you like and what best suits your team. Now you can also use FastScout to do a player individual review or individual scout. So if we go to the next page, jump down here, we can use the personnel tab. Now from the personnel tab, we're going to quickly enter in a couple of players. So we'll put in Sue Bird, put in Ezzy Becker, Anna Stewart, and Joel Lloyd. Now I'll tick just one for now. I'll remove weight and height and just hit OK and add title, sorry. Now set up here, you might want to put the player's headshot there or a photo there for them. Obviously they know who they are and it's a team, so we should all be on the same page, but you might want to set this up as, you know, detailed or, you know, as personal as you like. So image might be best, you might choose to put a shot chart there. Now, again, we have the general personnel tile here. What we can do is we can start entering stats. So we might want to put 2022 and career. So you might want to compare this season to previous. So if we just put in, we'll start with Joel Lloyd, field goal percentage 39.4, previously 42, 40.3, 35.9. And then I'll just rename that to field goal percentage, 3-point percentage, and remove that. So you can set that up however you like. You might have, you know, season for now and then target or team ranking or league ranking, or you might even make this larger, make the entire personnel sheet tile larger, and you might want to put more below. You might want to put target, team rank, league rank. You know, it might say you're first in the league here, you're sitting fifth in the league, sorry, first on the team and fifth in the league. So you can reset this up and resize this and make the most out of this however you see fit. You can highlight stuff like always, highlight green for good, red for bad. You might want to make this a bit smaller and put another image. So shot chart and targeted areas that we want to look to get you looks. Now you might want to go into here and put, again, you might want to split that, make it smaller and have a couple of things so you can have positives and negatives, strengths in it, you know, however you'd like to set that up. Once you're happy with how it's all displayed, we can duplicate the tile, go into settings, and we'll just select Brown Stewart, save tile, which is number 30, forward, hit save tile. Obviously going to need to go in and change all those stats. So usually you'll just set up how you want to view it and then go in and duplicate it before going into more detail. So that's just one way you can use FastScout for player reviews and individual scouting. Now we might want to take this another step further. So we click done to jump out of this one, go to a new self-scout, and then we can just set up, let's say Brown and Stewart. So copy and paste some information. Brown and Stewart review 1. Set up a blank template and hit create. Now, obviously, not an actual scout, so we can go here, Around short review 1, might want to put a date. So it's July 2nd, however you want to set that up. Now we can go to personnel tile, add her details here. Brianna, do it. Tick. Again, like normal, tick that information that you want or don't want to display and get this brought up here. Now, we might want to remove the headshot, or we can put the photo there, however you want to set that up. But because this is all going to be for Brianna, what you might want to do is delete that information here, this subtile. You might want to leave an image there, and you might want to make this a little bit larger and put some more information. So you might want to put in a few more rows. You might put this season. Again, you might want to put target, league rank, team rank. You might want to put anything that you're looking for. You might put last 5 games, whatever information you have. Then, of course, you can go across here and put whatever stats you want. So you might be specifically talking about points per game. You might be talking about rebounds. You might track your own deflections. So whatever is important to you that you want to track, whatever you've really discussed on how you want to set up making the most of Brianna's season. Now, you can take that further, adding in text boxes. Again, you can go areas to focus on, areas to improve, strengths, keep doing this, stop doing this, whatever. You might want to add in more images to highlight, again, this is what we're running, or this is where we're looking for you to score, whatever you want to do. You might put plays, which you might have a couple of options on how you do this, depending on what you're trying to do. So we'll just choose an offense and a drill. So this might be an individual drill. So obviously 2-pass layups is a team thing, but you might want to put, an individual drill for Brianna to work on in her own time, attach some video and say, this drill we think will get the most out of you moving forward. You might put a couple of plays in here, and you might put some information to say, this is a play that we're looking for you. After you set that back screen, set this double down screen here, then slip to the basket while everyone's worried about the shooter. We're trying to get you slipping to the basket. Now, once you've set all this up and you're happy with all the information, whatever you've set up, as always, we can click the mobile access, and we can allow that player, and only that player, to see that individual review. So now if we click save, only that one player that you've given access to will be able to see it. Hopefully this helps you see a few more options that you have with FastScout. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to support@fastmodelsports.com, and we'll be happy to help. Thank you.